That's why I say you're a blockhead, Lowry. How could you let such a thing happen? The man was innocent. What do you think the press are going to say about all this? Now get out of here! Get the hell out of my sight! And if I have any more trouble with you, you'll be dishing out parking tickets before long. That's a promise, Lowry! Oh, and here's my good friend Halligan, another one of the invaluable detectives of our glorious murder squad. Don't just stand there gaping. Come in. I'm glad you could make it. After all, you're a busy man, aren't you? Now look here, Detective Halligan. I've got used to being surrounded by a bunch of incompetent, half-baked blockheads. But your smart, well-dressed colleague Lowry has just earned himself the golden badge of stupidity. Halligan, we've got a bit of a problem. We've had an innocent man locked up in jail. Regrettably, he was killed in prison before we could correct our mistake. Unfortunate affair. And now we've got this lunatic killer running around all over London. We have to make sure that at least this oversight is put right. Your clear-up rate so far ought to be sufficient evidence that there's no point in asking you to clear up anything more than a common bicycle theft. But this does happen to be the murder squad. I am the chief of this department. All I have for choice is that blockhead Lowry and you.
Okay, Chief. What do you want me to do? Where did Lowry go wrong?
Your dear colleague Lowry dealt with the skeleton murders last year. You should know that, Halligan. Lowry worked on the case for several months and finally managed to pull a culprit out of the hat. A butcher from South London. A married man with kids. They gave him a life sentence. He was in jail till 3 weeks ago.
Pulled out of the hat, you say? So the butcher didn't do it after all?
Oh, you're a genius, Halligan. He didn't do it. We found that out today.
He didn't do it? How could he be convicted then?
Detective Lowry imaginatively constructed an impressive chain of evidence, and the court followed his arguments in detail. The public wanted somebody to blame, and they found somebody. That's life.
Well, all right, these things happen. But how do you know that the man Lowry arrested didn't commit the murders?
Very simple. Dead people don't go around committing more murders.
There's been another murder.
Exactly, Halligan. A pile of bones has been found in Epping Forest. Supposedly a male corpse. We don't know any more than that. I presume we both agree that it can't have been Lowry's man, eh?
Oh, of course.
You see, I've just managed to get that into Lowry's head as well. You heard it? Lowry's off the case. Halligan, you drive out to Epping Forest and take a look at the evidence.
Of course, sir.
And Halligan, no sloppiness now. I want results. Sensible results. The press has already been terrorizing me this morning. The killer must be found. Do I make myself clear?
Of course, Chief.
Good. This is the file with all the necessary information, and now you better get going quickly.
I'm not thirsty. That won't get me any further. Hello, Chris.
Hi, Halligan.
Have you heard of the new skeleton murder?
Not only heard, I've already been out to where the body was found, together with the forensic squad.
And? What did you find out?
Not a lot. The killer did a neat job. No traces, no witnesses. This madman doesn't seem to be so stupid at all.
Did you examine the other cases as well, Chris?
Of course.
What do you think these people died of?
It was no natural death, if that's what you mean, Halligan.
I'll just drive out there and have a look at it.
Just you do that, Brent.
Okay, Chris. See you later on. Hello, Lowry.
Oh no, not you, Halligan. You're all I need at the moment.
Have you got a couple of minutes, Lowry? I'd like to talk to you about a couple of things concerning the last skeleton murder.
I really don't feel like chatting right now. Least of all with you, Halligan. Read the file, it's all in there.
Lowry, I've read your file. There's just nonsense in it.
Do you know what I think, Halligan? I think I don't need to tolerate a detective in a £20 suit walking past my door criticising the quality of my work.
Well, it's hardly my fault that the chief has taken you off the case. It's your own fault.
You can keep your analysis to yourself. Just leave me alone.
Thanks for being so helpful, Detective.
You're welcome, Halligan.
My case file. My case file.
Halligan,
Yes?
might I ask you what you think you're doing?
I just wanted to borrow your scissors. Just for 5 minutes.
Forget it.
Unfortunately, there's no pizza in there anymore. Unfortunately, there's no pizza in there anymore. I won't find anything I could make use of now in there. I can find my way without a map. I know my way around well enough. Good morning, officer.
Good morning, Detective. I hope you've had a good breakfast. The sight over there is not very appetizing.
Oh, well, you know, I've got used to it. When were the bones discovered?
At 5:30 a.m. by a jogger. He phoned us.
5:30 a.m. He was out and about quite early this morning.
Indeed, sir. And half an hour later, the press arrived.
How did the press find out about this so early, officer? Did you call them by any chance?
No idea, sir. These vultures seem to have a sixth sense for crime. It's either that or somebody from your police station tipped them off.
Were there any onlookers?
Yes, a couple, but I sent them away. The real run will start after people finish work, when they've got the time. We've seen it before.
Well, hold the fort, officer.
Yes, sir. I'll have to do that.
Okay, officer, that was it. Thank you.
Any time, sir.
I should take the bone with me, but you don't transport a piece of evidence in your coat pocket. I should take the bone with me, but officer,
What is it, sir?
I just thought you might help me a bit.
With criminal investigations? Sorry, sir. I'm only a patrolman. I'll do my job and you do yours.
The best ideas often come from the man in the street.
What do you mean, sir? I must ask you to show a little more respect. And now,
Okay, officer, that...
any time.
We'll see if that's true. I hardly use it. The The best recipe is still Al's Pizza Palace. Good to know that there are intelligent life forms out there. In here, I only meet weirdos like Detective Lowry. Non-smoker within 21 days. The Sirius Riddle. John Sinclair, Ghost Hunter. My favorite book. My writing desk. I am definitely the only one who can make head or tail of. This is my collection of case files. Smoking will be the death of me. Hello, Janet.
Hello, Brent.
Have you got a minute?
Not even a minute, Brent. Do I look as though I've got any time?
Shall I come back later?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Far too hot to touch. If I pull that hose off, the whole of Scotland Yard will blow up. Actually, far too hot to touch. Far too hot to touch. A flask. A flask. Far too hot to touch. Leave them. I don't need those anymore. Nope, no darts now. Maybe I'll play later. Against my favorite opponent, Inspector Miller. The best-selling headache pills worldwide. My brown sock? How did that get in? I'll take it with me. I'm determined to give up smoking. Is there anything worse than thirst? I'll take it with me. That won't feel different. That won't feel different with gloves either. That won't feel different with gloves either. That won't feel different with gloves either. That is no important. That is no important. That is no important. That is no imp. That is that is no important evidence. I'm sure about that. I'd rather think about it again. It won't work like that. It would have surprised me if it had worked like that. That doesn't work. It won't work like that. That is no important evidence. That is no important evidence. I'm sure about that. That is no important evidence. I'm sure about that. That is no important evidence. I'm sure about that. There's hardly any flesh on the bone. Unbelievable. I need to have the grass examined. I need to have the grass examined. I need to have the grass examined. Strange. That is no important evidence. I'm sure about that. That won't feel different with gloves either. I thought it wouldn't work like that. The grass next to the bones is black. Strange. I need to have the grass examined. A roll of plastic bags to secure evidence. I've just come back from the place where they found the bones in Epping Forest.
And? Trailblazing new findings?
I've got something here I'd like you to have a look at.
Show me.
Here you go, Chris. Have a look at this.
A bone. Very likely the right thigh bone. Why are you bringing it here? I had a look at the bones with the forensic squad this morning.
I know, but I've still got a couple of questions about them.
Well, go ahead then.
Did somebody maybe scorch the flesh off the bone?
No, definitely not. That would look different. I suspect that it was rather cut off, or maybe taken off with acid.
What sex was the victim?
Judging by the structure of the bones, I think it was male. I'll write that down in my report as well, but I'll tell you right now that you won't get it before the end of the week, Halligan.
Can you see any abnormalities?
I would have noticed them, Halligan. No fractures, no bruises, everything quite normal.
You can't tell me more than that about the bones? Chris, that doesn't help me.
There's really no more to say about the bones, Halligan. Just wait for my report. You'll have it all nicely written down then. Or, hang on a moment. If you're really interested, Go and see Professor Turner. He was the supervisor of a friend's PhD thesis. That's how I met him. He works in the Anthropological Museum in Oxford. If anybody can say anything about the bones, he can.
Okay, thanks for the advice.
Don't mention it, Brent.
A bottle of apple juice. Chris, I've got something else for you. Could you have a quick look at that too?
The weed. Also from the place where the bones were found, I suppose.
Exactly.
Okay, Brent. And what do you want to know about it?
Have you seen something like this before?
You mean, have I seen grass before? Are you trying to pull my leg?
Have another look.
Slight burning traces. Where'd you get it from?
The bones were lying on this grass.
Oh, maybe somebody made a fire on the grass before the bones were lying there. That's not very unusual in parks.
That was no fireplace, Chris. The grass was burnt under the bones and just there.
Well then, maybe the bones got hot.
Can bones get that hot in the sun?
Well, I don't think this is very likely in autumn. But right now, I can't say much more about that either.
Okay, Chris. See you later on. Closed due to renovation works. Great. And now? Hello, my friend.
Huh?
What are you doing here?
Are you blind? I'm having a drink.
Can I have a drop?
Get your own bottle, mate. And get me one as well. My bottle's empty.
There's money in your hat there. Isn't that enough for a bottle of gut rot?
Oh, no. Those pennies wouldn't feed a parking meter.
Okay, I must be off now.
Well then, okay.
I can't hear any dialing tone. Telephone charges of British Telecom, so nobody forgets how expensive it is to use the phone. Hey, a phone box, and I don't need a phone card. Hey, it's me again.
So what? Haven't you asked enough questions yet? You know more about me than my goddamn mother. Bagger off.
Can I help you somehow?
Help? Help? Nobody can help me.
Hey, don't despair. Everybody has a hard time now and then. Maybe I can do something for you.
Just leave it. I've lost everything. Everything. No money, no flat, no future. I'm finished. Simply finished.
What do you need most urgently?
What I need a drink. Hey, mightn't you have a couple of pounds for me?
Sorry, I've got no money on me.
No money, eh? Well, bagger off then, old miser.
Okay, I must be off now.
Well then, okay.
The beggar's flask. Absolutely empty. Of course, it can't work like that. Not a good idea. I thought it wouldn't work like that. That won't get me any further. Far too hot. Something is just being distilled there. Fingerprint powder. A container with chemicals. A container with... I can't do anything with this. I can't do anything with this. I can't do anything with this. I can't even pronounce the name on the label right. I can't do anything with this. I can't do anything with this. I can't even pronounce the name on the label right. I can't do anything. A container with chemicals. I can't do anything. A container with chemicals. That won't get me any further. That doesn't work. I don't want that. I'd rather think about it again. No, not a chance. I can't do that. I can't do anything with this. I can't even pronounce the name on the label. It won't work like fingerprint powder. Take it with me? Chris surely wouldn't like that. A bottle with some kind of liquid in it. It's quite dirty, full of dust and fingerprints. No, better not. I don't want that. Take it with me? A bottle with some kind of... It's quite... A bottle with some kind of liquid in it. Not a good idea. No, not a chance. Take it with me? It's quite dirty, full of dust and fingerprints. Take it with me? A bottle? With some kind of liquid in. These things are called Erlenmeyer flasks.
Well, Halligan, how'd you get on at the museum? What did Professor Turner say? Could he help you?
The museum is closed. It's being refurbished.
Oh, well, that's bad luck. Why don't you phone him?
My wallet has disappeared. Have you seen it?
Your wallet? No, it isn't here. Was there much money in it?
No, a £20 note and some change.
Well, it isn't here anyway.
Okay, Chris, that's it for the moment.
Okay, Halligan. See you then.
A container with... I can't do anything. I can't do anything. I can't do anything. A con... I can't do anything with this. I can't even pronounce the... Take it with me? Take it with me? Take it with me? Take it with... Take it... It's quite dirty. Full of dust and fingerprints. I don't want that. That's futile. That won't get me any... I can't see any connection there. Too dangerous to carry the bottle around with me. I don't even know what kind of stuff that is. Too dangerous. A bottle with some sort of... The bottle is full of dust and fingerprints. A bottle with some sort of... Too dangerous to carry the bottle around. Too dangerous to carry the bottle. Too dangerous to carry the bottle.
Well, Halligan, how'd you get on at the museum? What did Professor Turner say? Could he help you?
Something I wanted to ask you, Chris. What do those flasks contain?
Oh, you mean those on the shelves? They contain all sorts of different chemicals I need for my work. Indicator solutions, alcohol, things like that.
What exactly are indicator solutions?
Solutions for determining particular chemicals. The solution changes its colour if the substance you're looking for is present.
You've got a great job, Chris. Masses of alcohol and everything legal.
Nonsense, Halligan. Do you think we spend all day getting drunk with medical alcohol? Why don't you just try the stuff?
Sure, no problem.
Here, Brent, to your health. What's up? Go ahead, try it. You won't get one of these so often.
All right, here we go. Cheers.
To your health, Brent.
An interesting aroma, isn't it? Brent, aren't you feeling very well? Brent, are you sure you're okay?
God damn it. You could knock someone out cold with this kind of stuff, Chris. Chris? Take it with me. Take it with me. Take it with me. Too dangerous to carry the too dangerous to the bottle is clean. A bottle with some sort of chemical. Look what we've got here. This is the bottle Chris took. Take it with... Now the flask is full. A bottle of apple juice. A flask, brimful with a mixture of apple juice. I've got something for you. Apple schnapps from Detective Halligan's home distillery. My own brand. Would you like to have a taste?
You serious? All right, pal. I'm as dry as the bottom of a parrot's cage.
Why don't you drink it all? I don't mind. And it's a cracker, I can tell you.
Cheers, mister.
Cheers. What shall I pay for? What shall I pay for? Telephone charges of British Telecom, so nobody forgets how expensive it is to use the... Let's see if the phone number of the museum is listed in here. Museum, okay. Museum of African Studies, Museum of Ancient History. Here, Anthropological Museum. And the extension of Professor Turner? It's here. I've got it. What shall I pay for?
Hello?
Hello, who's that?
Who am I speaking to?
This is Detective Halligan from Scotland Yard.
Scotland Yard? What can I do for you?
I need to speak to Professor Turner. Doesn't he work at the museum?
Yes, but he's away on business.
Look, miss, what was your name?
Goodbye, Mr. Halligan.
She's hung up.
Well, Brent, still got a headache?
Don't ask, Chris.
Have you managed to contact Professor Turner?
Yeah, I phoned him, but he wasn't in.
Not in?
He's on an expedition. I just talked to some woman who works there.
With his extension number?
Yes, exactly.
Well, Halligan, that was probably his daughter Melanie. She works in the museum as well. My friend told me a lot about her. He used to be really keen on her.
So, Professor Turner has a daughter. Thanks, Chris. I think that'll help me.
Hello?
Hello, this is Halligan again. Please don't hang up, Miss Turner.
How do you know my name, Mr. Halligan?
Chris Hecker told me that Professor Turner's your father.
Yes, that's true.
What do you do at the museum?
I'm an anthropologist.
The same as your father.
Yes?
Miss Turner, do you think you could help me?
That depends. What's the trouble?
I found a bone that I've had examined at the lab.
A bone? A human bone?
Yes, of course. It belonged to a murder victim.
Murder? How awful.
The bone is from the body of one of the victims of the skeleton murders. I take it you've read about them?
Oh, good heavens, yes. What can I do for you?
Couldn't we discuss that inside?
Certainly. Come on over. I'll let you in. Mr. Halligan?
Yes, that's right. Hello, Miss Turner. Nice to meet you. Thank you for taking the time.
No problem. We're closed anyway. The museum is being refurbished.
It's not easy to get in touch with you. I was close to giving up.
Oh, you mean because of the phone call? I'm really sorry. I do sometimes tend to be rather short on the phone. You know, I get unpleasant calls sometimes, and that's why I'm a bit suspicious.
I see. Well, I finally got in touch with you.
Would you like to come in? Would you like a cup of coffee or anything else?
No, thanks.
Mr. Halligan, how may I help you?
As I said, I'm working on the skeleton murders. We found another victim in Epping Forest. All the evidence points to the same culprit as in the other cases. The corpse was completely skeletonized. Professional work.
That's horrible. But how can I help you?
My colleague Chris Hecker of the Forensic Lab has already had a look at the bones. He thought that your father could perhaps carry out some additional tests. He is a renowned expert, after all.
Yes, he could do that. But as I said, my father isn't here.
I know, but it is very urgent. Perhaps you could have a look?
You say you've got some of the bones with you?
Yes, just one. Here.
This is a femur.
Yes, that's what Chris Hecker said as well.
It will take some time, Mr. Halligan. Could you wait a moment?
Yes, sure.
Pieces of broken vessels, the sheath of a dagger. That's a stiletto from the late Roman era. The sickles from England. It could be a Celtic artifact, but we haven't been able to date it yet. This dagger needs restoring. A curved dagger. These stilettos were found during the excavations in Tenochtitlan, which is now Mexico City. These stilettos were pieces of broken antique muzzle-loader pistols. These are pieces of very old statues. It's not easy to put them together. Father hates it when I use up all his chemicals. 2 bottles of developer. A death mask. In the Sudan, they put masks like these on warriors who died while hunting. I got this mask in Central Africa. They wear them for rites that are supposed to cure diseases. Their witch doctors use them to drive away evil spirits. These pieces fit together, but my father and I never managed to figure out where they came from. Forbidden archaeologies, my favorite. Excellent research, very mysterious. That's a stiletto from the late... This dagger needs restoring. A curved dagger. These stilettos were found during the excavations in Tenochtitlan. These stilettos were pieces of broken vessel. It must have been practically impossible. The sickles from England. It could be... That's a stiletto from the late Roman era. I should concentrate. I can't think of anything reasonable today. There's methanol in there. It's sometimes used to clean up relics. Father's distiller.
Well, did you get anywhere, Miss Turner?
Not really. Not yet, anyway. It'll take a while.
Okay.
I can't see it properly. 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 There's some metal residue here. It's gold. There's some metal residue here. It's gold. That's interesting. The notches in the bone were made by a sharp instrument. The sickle matches the notches to a T. Hey, didn't this edition mention something in connection with sacrificial rites in Britain? Let's see. Yes, here it is. An article about the Druids and their sacrificial rites. The latest findings indicate that in ancient England it was probable for the most... for their high ceremonies, the Celts usually prefer to use... incredible. It all fits in with this bone. I'm sure the detective will be very interested. Mr. Halligan? I believe I've found something interesting about your bone.
Go ahead.
In my opinion, this bone was worked on.
With a sickle?
Yes, and probably with a sickle made of gold.
What makes you think that?
The bone bears notches matching the cutting form of a sickle to a T, and I found a trace of gold in one of the notches.
A golden sickle? Who would use a weapon like that in order to cut a human being to pieces?
That's what I asked myself as well. I found an interesting article which could help us. According to the historian Arthur Blake, the Britannic Druids carried out very bloody sacrificial rites. He found out that such rites took place at major celebrations of the Celts. He assumes that consecrated golden sickles were used for those rites.
And how does he know about these things?
He learned about it from old inscriptions he's translating at the moment. Interesting, huh?
Celts? Druids? Quite some time has passed since then, hasn't it?
Of course, but the descriptions in the article absolutely match the findings on your bone, Mr. Halligan. I'm sure the author of the article can help you.
I'm going there now.
Mr. Halligan, I'm interested in this, particularly because of my job. I'd like to help you with your case. Would you take me with you?
Impossible. It's confidential police work. I have to see him on my own. I'm sorry.
I'm sure my knowledge would be to your advantage, Mr. Halligan, and I think it would be really interesting to work on a case like that.
Oh, well, when I think about it, perhaps that's not a bad idea at all. Perhaps there will be more examinations to be done. Okay, Miss Turner, let's do it like this. I'll keep you informed on the case. If I hear anything new or if I need your help, I'll contact you. What do you think?
All right. I'll see you later then.
Yeah, see you later. And thank you, Miss Turner. This must be it. Pretty out of the way. Mr. Blake?
Yes?
My name's Brent Halligan. I'm a detective from Scotland Yard. I have a few questions I need to ask you.
Scotland Yard? What's this about? Is something wrong?
I'd rather we discuss this in private. Do you mind if I come in?
I'm not sure. What's happened? Is there a problem with one of my publications?
No, sir. I'm investigating a murder case. Perhaps you could help me? It really won't take very long.
Murder? How awful. But what's it got to do with me?
Mr. Blake, I'd really prefer it if we could go somewhere a little more private. May I come in?
Well, yes, certainly. Come on in.
You're the author of a book on Druids, am I right?
Yes, quite correct. In fact, I'm just working on a revised version for the next edition. But what makes you so interested in my book?
I'm currently investigating a series of murders in London. I've made some interesting discoveries that I'd like to discuss with you.
What series of murders are we talking about?
The skeleton murders. You may have read about them in the papers.
Oh, yes. Of course. A terrible business.
Mr. Blake, I believe there may be some sort of ritual behind these murders.
Well, what makes you think that?
Dr. Turner from the Anthropological Museum in Oxford examined one of the last victim's bones for me. She found residual traces of gold on it and round notches.
Round notches, you say?
Yes. Does that mean anything to you? Doesn't your book on Druids mention ritual killings for which a golden sickle was used?
True. Are you saying these murders are based on the same ritual?
That's what I've come to ask you.
But that's impossible. It can't be true. It's... My God. It would be unthinkable. It would confirm all my translations. I've been researching the history of the Druids for 30 years now, but I've never yet found proof of my greatest fears.
Your greatest fears?
Yes, the perfection of the final ritual, the final confirmation of the Druids' power.
Tell me more about the Druids.
Well, the Druids were Celtic priests. They were highly respected scholars, responsible for preserving the Celtic religion and science. Their main tasks included conducting sacrificial rituals, medicine, astronomy, and justice. Experts now believe that Druidism began in ancient Britain and spread from there to the European continent, especially to Gaul. The first definite evidence of the Druids' existence goes back to 500 BC.
That's a long time ago.
Quite. And for at least 500 years from then on, the Druids were the most important class of Celtic society.
What happened then?
Well, with Britain and Gaul being conquered by the Romans, the Druids were quickly suppressed. Their doctrine was abolished and replaced by Roman tenets. In the end, Christianity took over. And by around 1000 AD, Druidism seems to have vanished.
What's this final ritual all about?
This is the text I wrote down during my travels through England and France. You know, when you travel through the country, you can feel that many locals still believe in the old Celtic customs. A group of farmers in the south of England let me copy the inscriptions on a megalith that stands in a field there. They claim that there used to be a huge Druid temple close to their house, but there's nothing left of it now. Whatever. I managed to translate the text, at least in part.
Okay, Mr. Blake, please come to the point. What does it say?
It says that the last of the Druids saw the fall of their priesthood coming in the year 1000 AD. In the confusion surrounding the final destruction of the Order, a demonic superior Druid seized power, using his knowledge of Druid magic, not for the good of his people and to honor the gods, but to submit all of mankind to his rule. In order to secure the survival of the Druids' tradition, and to complete his devilish work, he organized a final ritual, transferring the knowledge and power of the last of the Druids to 5 infants. These infants have always been referred to as the inheritors.
Go on.
The inscription says that the ritual was not entirely completed. I've not yet been able to discover why. But from what I've learned, the inheritors are strong and powerful enough to one day complete the ritual by themselves.
Right. But what have these murders got to do with the myth?
Well, that's just it, Mr. Halligan. I haven't told you the whole story yet.
There's more?
Yes. The inscriptions explain that the Druids' inheritors require the life force of other people to complete the ritual.
I see. And how do they do that?
According to legend, the flesh has to be cut off the bones of living humans and to be eaten. Only then can their life force be transferred.
You mean the victims of these skeleton murders were practically eaten alive by cannibals?
By Druids, yes.
I don't believe it.
The worst is yet to come, Mr. Halligan.
What? What could possibly be worse than that?
If such skeletons have been found in London, bearing marks of a golden sickle, it can only mean one thing. The inheritors are preparing for the perfection of their final ritual.
Which means?
The myth says, once the ritual has been completed, the world will become a place governed by evil. Dark magic will be unleashed upon the world, and mankind will have but one choice: to obey or to die.
Great. And you really believe all that?
I believe it's possible. You know, Mr. Halligan, I'm not a superstitious man, but I've spent enough time studying Druidism to know that more goes on between heaven and earth than we can possibly imagine.
I quite agree.
You see, and the skeletons that have been found within the past few months fit in perfectly with the Druids' sacrificial rites. The day of the ritual's perfection is drawing near. Of that I'm certain. What we're looking at right now is just the beginning. Before we're through, more people will die, and the inheritors will soon be strong enough.
What can we do about it?
Time is running out, Mr. Halligan. You must find the inheritors and put them out of action.
That's an easy thing to say, but how can I?
There may be a way. During my latest research, I came across something very interesting. If the story I've heard is true, then there's a certain item that was extremely important for the ritual 1,000 years ago.
What is it?
A piece of jewelry mentioned in the old inscriptions. The Amulet of Transformation. You should try to gain possession of that amulet.
The Amulet of Transformation? What's its purpose?
I don't know, Mr. Halligan. Nobody does. All I do know is that the myth says it's important for the completion of the ritual. If you find the amulet, you may be able to prevent the ritual.
How did you find out about the amulet?
My work led to the discovery of a connection between the Druids of Gaul and Britain. It seems there was a small group of British Druids who fled to France when the ritual failed.
What for?
I don't know. Maybe they wanted to save the amulet. I found out that a 13th century despotic French nobleman somehow gained possession of the amulet. I found a picture of him in an old archive.
Really? Let me see. Well, he doesn't look particularly friendly. Was he a druid?
Well, he must have had something to do with the Druids, but I really can't tell you how he gained possession of the amulet. However, he is the only clue that I can possibly give you as to the whereabouts of the amulet. I suggest that you make your way to Carmore. With any luck, you may find more clues leading to the amulet there.
All right, Mr. Blake. I'll get going immediately.
Take care of yourself, Mr. Halligan. Good luck.
Hello, Captain.
Bonjour.
Do you know the castle of Carmore? I say.
I might.
Well, do you know the castle or don't you? You're not being very talkative.
No.
Oh, well, thanks for the conversation.
You're welcome.
Good day to you, monsieur.
Shush, 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 silence.
Tell me, my good man, which way is the castle?
Castle? Oh, you mean the burnt down mound of rubble on the outskirts of the village, I suppose?
Yes, that's it.
What do you want to go there for? There's nothing to see there.
I just want to take a look around. So, which way do I go?
Oh, that's simple. Just follow the road through the village, past the crossroads, and straight ahead. Keep going for about 3 kilometers, and you can't miss it.
Okay. Thank you for your assistance.
No problem. You're welcome.
It's me again.
Quiet. My God, haven't you been listening? I'm trying to...
Oh, yes. I'm sorry.
Well, how do you like the area?
Not really.
Aha. Then what are you doing here?
No. There were just a few points I wanted to clear up.
Very well. But keep your voice down, will you?
Certainly. Tell me, my good man.
Castle?
Yes.
What do you...
I just want...
Oh, keep...
So the castle burnt down, did it?
Yes, that's right. I think it happened in some war or other, or during the Inquisition. That was hundreds of years ago.
Have you ever heard of the Lord of the Castle of Carmore?
Yes, of course. My parents used to tell me about him in order to scare me when I wouldn't go to bed. For the children of Carmore, the Lord was a kind of bogeyman, you know. Our parents used to tell us horror stories about him.
What did they say?
That villagers used to vanish, that the Lord would catch and kill little children. They told me, Pierre, sleep now, or the Lord will come and get you. I remember it as if it had been yesterday.
Was the Lord such an evil character, then?
Oh, yes, so I've heard. They say he murdered his entire family, not to mention half the household. He was a madman, but I don't remember many details of the old stories.
Have you ever been to the castle as an adult?
Yes, a couple of times. We needed stones for our new stable, but I don't mind telling you, I wasn't too happy out there.
What did people believe would happen if the Lord came to get you?
You'd be killed and fed to the Lord's hounds. At least, that's what my parents told me.
That's not much of a bedtime story to tell a small boy.
True, but it worked. We kept away from the castle after dark, believe me.
What do you know about the castle?
Not much. It's supposed to have belonged to a rich family around here many centuries ago. As a child, I used to play in the ruins with my friends, but it's not really safe to go walking around in the rubble.
Why is that?
It's in danger of collapsing, my friend. Anyway, it's pretty creepy out there, especially in the cemetery. There's not much left of the castle nowadays. Local farmers use the ruin as a quarry when they need stones for their houses. There's just a few bits of rubble left, that's all.
I have to go. Good luck with...
Thank you.
This must be the castle. Or rather, what's left of it. Pretty creepy. Hello.
Damn. Oh,
I've had a...
Oh, well,
Quietly.
precisely, my friend.
I'd like to speak to...
What would you like to know?
Are there many fish here? Have you caught anything?
When it is quiet enough, then I catch quite a few, so please speak quietly.
Why? Do fish have such good ears?
You bet. A single murmur and I'll have to sit here for an hour longer waiting for them.
And what do you do with the fish?
Well, what do you think? I throw the little ones back in, and the big ones get eaten.
You eat these fish?
Of course. Why not?
Well, this water looks pretty murky to me.
No. This water is clean, and the fish are first class. Carmore used to be famous for its fishing industry, you know.
But they didn't fish with rods, did they?
Certainly not. There used to be a whole fleet of trawlers. But practically all the fishing businesses around here were forced to close down a while back.
Why are you fishing right here?
The ship's propellers whirl up a lot of plankton, which attracts the fish. Once the ferry has settled, I can often get a good catch.
Isn't this rather a noisy place for the fish?
Nah, the only time it's noisy is when the ferry's in. Other than that, it's really quiet. Unless, of course, people come up and bother me with too many questions, my friend.
I like your fishing rod. It's a beauty.
Yes, nice, isn't it? It's an enhanced fiberglass telescope ultralight 47, the latest model.
Could you give me one of your fish?
On a normal day, I would, but I just haven't been able to catch enough today.
How many fish have you caught?
Not a single one, my friend.
That's not a lot.
Yeah, precisely. I must try to catch some now, otherwise I will have nothing to offer this evening.
You're planning to sell the fish?
No. I have visitors coming this evening, you understand?
I see. I suppose there's nothing doing then.
Sorry. Why don't you just buy a fishing rod of your own and come and join me? Who knows? If you're nice and quiet, you may be lucky.
Do you mind if I hold your fishing rod for...
Sorry, my friend. I spent 800 francs on it, and I'm not...
What are you planning?
You may not believe me, but I've caught all kinds of things here. You know, I've caught pike. That's why I bought this rod. The last one was pulled clean out of my hands by one of those beasts.
You expect me to believe that?
Of course, it's the truth. I swear it. I even had some photos of one of those fish, but I'm afraid I lost them. They fell into the water. Right here.
And now there's not a shred of evidence. That is a pity.
Don't you believe me? Ask Capitaine Deneuve. He will confirm it. I often show him the fish that I catch.
Capitaine Deneuve? Who's that?
Oh, you don't know him? He captains the ferry that brought you here. He's over there, on board. He's experienced a lot and has been all over the place. He knows a lot of stories. Incredible stories.
Oh? Like what, for example?
You'll have to ask him that yourself. I never really listen properly when he starts spinning his yarns. He's bound to tell you a story or two. You just have to know how to deal with him.
Okay. Thank you for your assistance.
No problem. You're welcome.
Hello, Captain.
Bonjour.
Do you know the castle of Carmore? I say...
I might.
When are you leaving for Portsmouth?
In 2 hours. Are you coming?
Yes.
Then come aboard.
Hello, Captain.
Bonjour.
Do you know the castle? I say... Well... You're not... Oh. Hello, I'm... Why? What? I like your fit.
Yeah.
You must... Could you... that's...
Yeah.
Your plan?
Nah.
I see.
Sorry. Who knows?
What do you... That you...
They fell in.
And now that is it.
Don't you believe? Ask
Oh,
he's over.
Oh? Like what?
You'll have to ask him that. I never really listen properly when he's bound to tell you a story or two.
How to deal with him? What do you mean?
Not so loud, please.
Because of the fish?
No, because of Capitaine Deneuve. He might hear us.
And?
Look, I'll tell you something. Deneuve's a bit strange. He insists on being addressed by his title. It's how do you call it? A peculiarity of his.
Oh? Why is that?
He's an old sea dog from a real old seafaring family. Some ancestor of his served in Napoleon's fleet. He himself used to go out to sea doing the real thing. Got a master's certificate and all that. Seen the world, so he says. These days he just captains the ferry. But he still insists on people using his title. He says his rank should still command people's respect.
Oh, well, if that's all, I don't mind. What do I have to call him, then?
Monsieur le Capitaine Charles Deneuve. That's his full title. He'll appreciate that.
Got it. Thanks for the hint. I have to go. Good luck.
Thank you.
Excuse me.
What?
You're Monsieur le Capitaine Charles Deneuve, aren't you?
Yes, that is correct, my boy. Charles Deneuve, Capitaine of the Merchant Navy of France. How do you know my name?
I've been talking to a friend of yours, the fisherman over there at the jetty.
Pierre? Ah, yes, old Pierre. I expect he has been telling you about his pike, the one that was 5 meters long.
Yes, he did. Is his story true?
To be honest with you, my boy, Pierre tends to exaggerate a little, just like all fishermen. The pike was about 4.5 meters long, no more than that.
Pierre says you're from Carmont.
Yes, that's right. I grew up here. As a youngster, I wanted to be a fisherman and used to work on my father's trawler. Later, I went to naval college to become a captain of the Merchant Navy of France. I have a small house at the end of the road, just behind Francois' Bistro.
Tell me more about Pierre.
I meet him almost...
So he's a fisherman.
He used to have... Now, they meet...
Doesn't he?
Of his...
How long? Monsieur le Capitaine.
What can I do?
No, I...
What?
No offense.
No.
Monsieur le...
What can I do?
I've got a few more questions.
Oh,
Pierre says...
yeah. Later, I have a...
You...
I...
Sounds like...
Yeah, but all that was a lot.
Your memoirs? That sounds interesting.
Oh, yes, my boy. I've seen a lot, you know. Disasters, storm tides, elements, mysteries.
Really? Won't you tell me more?
I have seen ships disappear in the Bermuda Triangle. I thought...
You were in all those...
Of course.